Qué rollo, quiero mandar un saludo a mi amigo Goodfella de parte de tu amigo Jaime Munguía. Un abrazo, carnal. Ánimo.
All right, Miguel Berchelt got the beast by Dre beat on his ass last night by Jeremia Nakathila. I already pronounce his name. I don't mean to disrespect him, but uh, I went back and watched the fight last night because I watched the Tim Zoo fight, and you know, for Miguel Berchelt, it might be over with for him. Um, because it depends on how good Jeremiah Nicotina is. Shakur Stevenson made him look basic, but also Shakur Stevenson couldn't run through him, right? Shakur Stevenson said that that he was real strong, and I think he pretty much insinuated that Jeremiah hurt him, right? And that's why he just melded in and just boxed from the outside, and it was a boring performance. And he went on to say that he was really really strong. So in so many words, he really did say that, uh, you know, that he was hurt. He hurt him. So, he went into that defensive mind, he mailed it in defensively. And like I said before, you can't blame nobody like that. Can't blame him. But Miguel Berchelt learned last night that you know, I think he was moving up in weight from his last fight. I don't know overall. Uh did he move up in weight? But let me double check that real quick. If he actually looking at his box right now. So yeah, he fought verse 35 versus Elazar Venezuela of Carrillo. So he been up there before one time. He fought Jose Banana. He fought him at the 135-pound. So he fought a few times above 130. So yeah, he fought a few times above 130, and he just got dominated last night, bro. Shout out to ESPN Plus for having a replay. He got dominated. He got dog walked, and he couldn't box with him. That's what happened. It makes Shakur Stevenson look a lot better. He couldn't box with him. He couldn't box with him. He couldn't box with him. So he couldn't box with him. So that's something to look at. It. Then he had some semi success where he started closing the gap on him, and he was pushing Jeremiah back, and but he couldn't sustain it. I don't know if it was the conditioning or whatever, but he couldn't sustain pushing him back. And old boy just, he got off, but he never hurt the guy. He never hurt him. When he split his shit open, I think he split his mouth open in the 6. He bust his nose open in the 6, and his mouthpiece flew out, and they stopped it after that. So I mean, old boy was just. I can't say he was necessarily better with Shakur Stevenson than he was tonight, but I just think he had a lesser opponent in. And Miguel Berchelt was said before the last fight that he had, COVID was a rumor that I don't never think he ever came out and said nothing or used it as an excuse, but he can't box. So you're not gonna be able to, overpower somebody bigger. And now also too, for this Jeremiah cat, he got to go up 5 pounds this fight. Compared to he came at 133 and a half, so he got to move up and weight this fight too. And he a big dude. He 32 years old. So historically, he been fighting at the 130-pound limit. And some of his fights don't have no weights on there, but historically, he been fighting at the 130-pound limit. And also, he got a win in between the Shakur Stevenson fight. So this is like, officially, this is his first trip up to 135 pounds. And he looked good. And he looked real good. And And conditioning wise, bro, this probably did wonders for him. You look fuller at 135. And Berchelt, he can't box. He just one of them dudes that's got some real awkward feet work, and he like to outwork you. And he had a moment in this fight where like he was just overwhelming Nakathila, but it wasn't effective. And once that moment went out the window, I think his corner, I think he knew he couldn't win this fight. Oh boy, just boxed his ears off. And think about it. I tried to put him in there with Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson turned it down and said he wanted Valdez. He didn't want to settle for Valdez leftovers. So I mean, last night just a bad matchup. Can he squeeze back down to 130 pounds? It might not matter. He had to figure out a way to get him a title, but historically, bro, he can't. I mean, as right now, looking at it, he can't box. He can't box. He a pressure fighter. He couldn't pressure old boy last night. It was a wrap. That's his game plan. He want to come out there and overwhelm you. That's what he want to do. And the old boy was just accurate. He ain't hard to find. He'll move his head off the line. Footwork trash. And Berchelt only 30 years old. Good athlete, but nothing super duper. So I mean, an old boy split his shit open, man, and knocked his mouthpiece out after that. I knew that fight was over with. I didn't know they was gonna stop it after that, but it made a lot of sense to stop it. It made a lot of sense to stop it. But for Berchelt, I mean, he got some. At this point, do you get with somebody else? I think it's too late for that. I think it's definitely too late for that to train with somebody else. Because his style is his style. His best bet is to try to, squeeze down and wait. That's his best bet. Is to squeeze down and wait. That's his best bet. And get back down to 30 pounds and see what can happen. But at 35, he man, he a sweet lick. He a sweet lick at 35. So, we talk about can't move his head, can't box. He just one of them dudes that pressure and overwhelm you. And guys who can't handle the pressure, guys who can't handle the pressure, they just, he able to overwhelm them. And guys who can tame him, with a jab and tame him with distance and timing and accuracy. This is what you get. What you see, it's what you get, and that's what he got. And I believe Nakathila was an underdog. Just show you that Shakur Stevenson might just be on a different level. People say, well, you lose to one of the best, and then motherfuckers say, oh, your career over with. You still got a career. Jeremia 33, Jeremiah Nakathila is 32 years old. And he just he scored a huge upset. Berchelt thought he was gonna come in and he seen what Shakur Stevenson did. He thought he was about to come in and he showed you that Jeremiah, yeah, he struggled with boxers, but he sure don't struggle with niggas like you, pressure fighters. He sure don't struggle with pressure fighters. you know, and now Top Rank know how to match him, you know, and they should have knew this was a bad matchup because Oscar Valdez, boxed his ears off, and Valdez ain't even known as a great boxer, and that was like wasn't one of his first fights with Eddie Renato. Valdez more of a banger. He went in there and easily boxed Berchelt. And one thing about Berchelt, he keep all his most time he keep all his weight on his front foot. He don't have a balance. And this kid, it's perfect style for him. This kid just all he had to do was box. Now versus Keir Stevenson, he showed that he wasn't gonna just put the earmuffs on and close the gap and begin and be a pressure fighter. You know what I'm saying? He just somebody to keep you at range, real tall, rangy. Keep you at the end of his shots, turn them over, crack it nice. So they know how to kind of match make him now. Put him in there with the Mexican fighters that like to come forward and bang. He'd be all right. Put him in there with the brothers that like to come forward and bang. If you got to put him in there with somebody that can box, real good, he probably gonna struggle a bit. But how many boxers out there is great as Shakur Stevenson? Not too many. So that's pretty much got to be the recipe for him. He should be able to make some good money. On the latter half of his career, fighting Mexicans. Top Rank got a bunch of them who like to come forward. It's a bunch of them at the 35 and 30-pound division like to come forward and bang. So, Berchelt, I don't think it's completely over with, but at 30 years old, he got to do some soul searching. And Jeremiah Nakathila, um, I think his world level and his American level career is really about to start, and he got an opportunity to make some really good money and possibly get a world championship, get a belt around his waist, and if he lucky, maybe 2 or 3. So yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think. Check the Fight Reaction playlist. Hit the link tree link in the description. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Anchor, and Spotify. If you want to reach out for a business question, card sponsorship, or chop it up. Twitter's the fastest way. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Best way to donate: comment, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe button, the bell icon button, hit all notifications, increase your chance to notification. We go live, drop a video. Check out my Detroit channel right here on YouTube, Motor City Sports Talk, for more sports views, news, and entertainment. It's another way you can support and donate to the channel, or help donate to me. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Check the Fight Reaction playlist.